Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Today, Trump is speaking at Davos. How is he going to affect markets? And what about Bitcoin and crypto? Are we going to see a comeback today? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything that's going on. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out the day. Bitcoin coming slightly back above. Were we like 89, 90,000, which is good. Okay, yesterday we were a little bit higher, then kind of trended down this morning, and now we're coming back up again, which is good. And this is mostly from one thing that was said already today, and that is Trump says he will not use force to acquire Greenland. So this has markets feeling a little easier today. To quote him, we never asked for anything. We never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force. Where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that, okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. So you heard it here first. No, you didn't hear it first because obviously it's on CNBC. But he says he's not going to use force. But he will use other means to get Greenland. Okay, but at least this has markets feeling a little easier already about the whole situation, okay? And he did start speaking. He's at Davos, the economic forum. He is speaking. I didn't play the whole thing, but at the beginning, when I caught him, he was talking about pharmaceuticals and how drugs are going to come down. I don't know if there's more things that he's going to say, but let me get through what I'm getting through first. And then we can watch it. But, the markets are obviously reacting positively right now due to the fact that he said he's not going to use military force. We are starting out in the green, which is always a good thing. And most of the stocks that went down yesterday see little recovery. And I don't know, maybe this is the reason why he came out and said that he's not going to use force, because yesterday there was a huge treasury sell-off. Nations from around the world were selling off U.S. bonds, and that's kind of like the weapon that you use against the U.S. We borrow so much money. We value our currency, USD, obviously, because it's our currency and it's a reserve currency of the world. You don't want the world to get off of it. You don't want the world to say, no, we don't want the USD anymore. We'll go sell off all our bonds. It's going to crash the market, right? But Bassett was trying to downplay fear, saying, no, it's irrelevant. Who cares, okay? Denmark is irrelevant. Greenland is irrelevant. We're fine. Obviously, after yesterday, it wasn't fine. So I don't know. Maybe that's why, he told Trump, hey, you should say something, to kind of stop this. I think that had a lot to do with what he said today. And gold and silver, they were skyrocketing because of the dumping of U.S. bonds and because people are fearful. And, that related to why Bitcoin dumped too, because unfortunately too many people don't see Bitcoin in the same category, doesn't see Bitcoin as a store of value, but they will. But right now, it's a weird situation because not only are gold and silver store values or hedges against uncertainty, they're seen as like hot investments right now because they've been skyrocketing. They've been skyrocketing for the last 6 months. So more and more people are more inclined to just put their money in there, right? So that has a lot to do with it too. Anyways, with all that said, all the panic and uncertainty and the liquidity exits made crypto see 1.08 billion in liquidations. Again, I've warned people. Just the other day, we had a 600 million liquidation. We had another $1 billion yesterday. If you're going to play with leverage, don't do your 10x, 15, 20, 50x. It's a sure thing you're going to get liquidated. Okay? If you're going to play, do 2, 3x. That's it. That's all you need. You can make a lot of money with 2, 3x. Don't do anything 10x or above, because a 10% drop, you're done. That's 100% liquidation. And that comes very fast with alts. Alts, like a couple days, you're 10%. Bitcoin, harder, but still, you don't want to risk it right now. And it's unfortunate. So when you get a lot of liquidations, obviously what happens, you get a cascading effect, and it brings down the entire market even more, because this is all like basically longs, not shorts. Yesterday, unfortunately, we had some large outflows coming from the ETFs. Bitcoin had nearly $500 million. ETH had 230 million come out. Even XRP, this is the first time I've seen it, 53 million outflow. I started covering this for a month now. Haven't seen any XRP outflow until now. Sol is still remaining green, but that's a huge outflow from XRP. Huge. So yesterday, obviously, a lot of panic. A lot of panic. There's still a lot of panic. Still a lot of things going on, right? So macro fears, geopolitical fears, still high. One good thing I mentioned last night, is we filled that CME gap. There was a 88.2 CME gap that we missed on the way up. Now we finally hit it. Okay, so at least we got rid of that. It's the one good thing I would say that comes out of this situation, is at least we got rid of that. There are CME gaps on the upside now too. So it's not always to the downside. Sometimes it's to the upside. But still, at least we got rid of it. But is there anything else that's good news? Because right now it just seems like all of a sudden the fundamentals and everything's changed, right? It seems like after 4 days of downs, it's like everything seems to have changed. Did they really though? Did they really? Well, this is certainly a change. Okay. Bitcoin holders begin realizing losses for the first time since 2023. On-chain data shows Bitcoin holders that have realized net losses over a 30-day period since late December, marking the first sustained loss taking place since October 2023. Okay. So this is a change. We haven't seen this in a couple years. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Search interest drops 50% year over year, despite all-time high. Okay. I guess that's a change, right? And of course, our current price movement, that's a change from the end of 2025 till now. Although now, the last few weeks, we were actually doing pretty good until this, the past few days. We were actually coming up, right? But we've seen pullbacks, but just like the timing of it is a little weird. But look at it. In April, we had Bitcoin go down 12% due to like these tariffs that were announced last year. We had this U.S. China like trade war escalation. Bitcoin's down 8%. Okay, and now we have this EU Greenland situation. Bitcoin's down, right? Yeah. Sometimes we get macro and geopolitical stuff that brings us down, and we've never seen it before. It's new, like new things that come out. But guess what happens, right? No matter what's changed, we find ourselves climbing back up because there are people that will not stop believing in Bitcoin. There are plenty of us that still are in the game holding, not only that, DCAing along the way. Here's an example of one, some Bitfinex whale that's purchasing about 450 Bitcoins per day. Don't know if this is an institution or a private company, a public company, or just an actual whale. They are still loading up because they believe. We know Saylor is still buying. He believes. We know BlackRock and Vanguard, they're still buying. They believe, right? So, again, maybe some things are new, some things have changed, but ultimately, Bitcoin will find its way back up. It always does, because it's scarce, and there are holders that won't stop believing, and they will continue to hold on DCA. Now, this is a pretty good thing. A 12-year-old trend support, okay, showing Bitcoin going all the way back to the very beginning, like 2013, the very first cycle. We have seen Bitcoin hit this trend line a couple times. We saw it in 2023, 2024, and now we're seeing it in 2026. So what happens after you hit this trend line, right? Like, I think it's pretty clear what happens. So that's the thing. You know, we were coming back up. We were making a good recovery until this happened. You know, it's just a setback. It's a distraction, right? We'll get through it. We always do. But again, if you're a first-time investor, or you're like, you've never bought Bitcoin before and you're shown this chart, what do you think you should do next? What do you think is going to happen next? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. And the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. A lot of charters are saying, hey, we have seen our situation before. Maybe geopolitically it's not the same, but we have seen the charts move similarly. And this one looks like 2019, where we start recovering and then boom, we recover back up. I don't know. The dollar amount is quite different. Back then, Bitcoin was below $4,000. I remember those days. Now it's almost laughable to think, yeah, we're complaining about, 90,000 Bitcoin when we were below 4,000 Bitcoin before. But I get it. A lot of people have bought at a higher price, but still, this goes to show you what holding and DCAing does. A lot of us have been doing that since 2019 or even earlier than that. Okay, so we're not fearful. But again, I understand there are people that came in later. Okay, they may have purchased 100,000 plus, 100, 110, 126. They FOMO toward the top. I get it. We're down from there. But if you just take a second and think about how far we have come over the last 5 years or beyond, then you'll realize we have made great, tremendous progress. And we're going to continue to make those same kind of progress going forward. But you just have to wait it out. You have to ignore the distractions. That's pretty much it. All right, and then moving on, a little bit of Ethereum. Okay, it does seem like Bitmine is continuing to buy, just like Saylor. 110 million Ethereum, okay, which is huge. And not only that, he's been staking. But right now, Bitmine controls 4.2 million ETH, almost 4% of the supply. Okay, he's trying to get to 5%. But ETH is a little bit different. Okay, ETH does have inflation. It doesn't have a set supply, but the inflation is small. He's buying certainly way more or way faster than the inflation rate of Ethereum. And he's been staking too, and just putting it all in there and then making staking rewards as well. Right? But it's not just him. Charts show that there are other Ethereum whales that are loading up. Kind of like, Bitcoin maxis. They believe. And they will continue to load up on Ethereum, so that is good. That shows that Ethereum is going to stay. Regardless if their tech is a little slow and outdated versus the other chains. You have institutional interest now. And what about Solana? Well, I got some good news and bad news. Solana released their second phone today. I don't know if it's today or yesterday, but, you know, it's called Seeker. And, you know, a lot of people want this phone because the first phone they came out with include a lot of airdrops, like Bonk, for example. And during the peak of the market, like the airdrop Bonk was worth way more than the phone. And that was just one example. There were other tokens airdropped, right? So people are expecting the same thing happening with this. So a lot of excitement. It may be the case. But I did see that Solana decided to come out with their own token, the SKR token. They decided to do a lot of airdrops with it. And then I just checked it like minutes ago. It was up to $110 million. And then someone decided to sell a little bit and it dropped 85%. And now it's down to 11 million. And the thing is, what doesn't make sense is liquidity. They like airdropped all these tokens. Their LP has like no liquidity in it at all. And that's why when one whale decided to sell, it just tanked 85%. And now it looks very fishy. If you're looking at it like that, is this a real project? Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Yeah. Outside of that, Winklevosses, they donate 1.2 million to Zcash development. Privacy coins heating up. Remember, Zcash was really, really hot. Everyone wanted to FOMO in, right? Well, the Winklevosses believe in them. And also last November, they said they were going to create a new treasury that's going to target 5% of the supply. Kind of like what BitMine's doing. I haven't really heard them start buying. Well, I mean, this is just a donation. But if they're really going to buy 5% of Zcash, that's going to be a lot of tremendous buying pressure. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. All right, U.S. market. Green, because Trump said he's not going to use military force, but he is calling for immediate negotiations. That's good. That's good. With so much pressure, I see Denmark just caving and say, oh, well, okay, fine. You're not going to give up on this. We'll sell it for $1 trillion or something like that. It's going to happen. But the good thing is, no one wanted the U.S. or Trump to be using force, military force, because then that destroys NATO and it causes a whole lot of more problems. So good thing at least that's ruled out. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see. MicroStrategy and Coinbase up slightly today. That's good. Robinhood up slightly today. That's good. Gold and silver. Gold is up slightly. Silver still elevated, but did not go up today. And Clash is still holding strong at 41 million. And Sol up a little bit, 129. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Still 46 says, of course he wasn't actually going to use force. I don't know. It came out his own mouth. before that he would consider using military force. So it's not like it was fake. You know, he actually said it himself. You can't make threats like that and not be taken seriously after Venezuela. George, do you think there's any left hope for or hope left for Sui? Yes, I do. I do. Sui tends to be a coin that moves, that needs momentum. Whenever the market does well, that's when it like shines, right? They may have really good market makers. I mean, they're still like a smaller community, right? I said that they could be the next Solana. They're not there. They're not there yet. They do have a very vibrant community. I've been to the not Breakpoint, their Sui Fest before, and it's good. And you can see people are excited. Raul Paul's now like a big Sui guy, right? But they're still a smaller community, which means that, you know, they don't have as many holders. But I do think when the market comes back, they'll be fine. Right now, while the market's kind of shaky and rocky, everyone's selling off. You know, basically the mid caps, small caps, whatever. Unless they're a big cap, they're not really being held at DC8. And, you know, I get it. They haven't been doing well at all. Frazzle says, can all this Trump business somehow lead to a black swan event that would trigger the bear market everyone's been calling for in 2026? Well, yeah, if you use military force on Greenland and then the U.S. gets in a war with NATO, that can be a black swan. It wouldn't be a black swan. It would just cause a big downturn, but it wouldn't be a black swan. Black swan is like it's like it's over. It's done for. Like a collapse. Like a Binance collapse, you know. This is not going to lead to any of that. Keep in mind, Trump has a lot of businesses in crypto. In fact, according to this article, he has earned $1.4 billion from World Liberty Financial and the Trump coin and whatever else he has. Okay. He has the American Bitcoin company now. He has his own stable coin. So whatever downturn that we have, he's not going to let crypto go anywhere. Because he and his family are very, very vested in it. So that's the good thing. It's going to hurt his own pockets if he causes a black swan. I don't think so, though. I mean, there are a lot of threats being made. You know, maybe this is part of the art of the negotiation, right? A lot of people said from his first term. This whole Greenland thing is kind of weird, but still, without military force, I think no one really cares that much anymore. It's really the use of military force and what that would do. That would really just disband NATO, and I don't think anyone wants that. I don't know. So, to answer your question, no. Well, we got some more updates on Clash Picks. Might as well talk about that. Let me sign in real quick if I can. More and more people are coming on. The volume is starting to get quite high. A lot of this, you know, is it's mixed. I mean, a lot of it is in Clash now, even though this is beta. And I've warned people not to go too crazy with Clash. But people are starting to use Clash, but also we have P Clash. But something new that we've added is trending. You can see trending in all categories now. before trending was just in all. Now you could see it everywhere. And a lot of people are making a lot of sports predictions. We had a lot more. And that is something new. That's pretty cool. And you know, you can see this, like there's trading or predicting everywhere. Also, we're adding in our ROI. Okay, so it's not quite done yet, so I'm not going to share it yet. But we're adding this where you could actually share your ROI, how much you have won, and for individual events, you'll be able to share. Okay, so that's coming. We got a lot of stuff. Every single day, we have new upgrades on ClashPix. So when this gets released, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be the best prediction market, in my opinion. I have people in Discord that have told me that, you know, they've used Polymarket and ClashPix by far is so much easier to use and understand. That's the purpose of it. So again, we're onboarding new people every single day. If you want to use it, come into our Discord and put in your test wallet in the ClashPix channel, and I will whitelist it for you. But pretty soon, you won't have to do that. I know it's an inconvenience right now, but I just want to be sure. I don't want everyone to jump in right away. This is still a beta site. But pretty soon we'll go live. Hopefully by the end of this month. And then the world will see how good this platform is. And by the way, we have a big tournament tonight. If you want to learn more about the project, go to georgeplaysclashroyale.com. You can sign up, create an account in here, and you can join our tournaments. So today, here's a nice calendar. Today we have the Pro tournament. That's at 6 p.m. I'll be commentating. Watching pros is really entertaining, at least for me. If you don't care about the game, it's fine. But even watching, you can win prizes by spectating. And then tomorrow, the expert one. And then we get a little break until the pro on next Tuesday, and then the amateur. But in order to participate in the tournaments or to spectate and win prizes, you have to create an account. Right? It's all on here. And then now we have a nifty ClashPix page on top too. That gives you a preview of what ClashPix is and how it's different, and how to join our Discord if you want to test it. But I'm looking forward to tonight's tournament. We got a lot of really, 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 really good players. Really good players. Don't fade ClashPix. And don't fade Clash. I'm telling you guys. This is all I do. Okay, besides these streams, I spend 100% of my time thinking about Clash. When the market turns around, you will see the true potential of Clash. You know, like all these hyped up new meme projects, okay? They all eventually do this. Recently, there was one called White Whale. It tanked. There was another one just a few days ago, supposedly Mr. Beast's project. It's not. It's a fake one. It tanked yesterday too. None of these new ones, hyped up ones, have anything going for them. And most of them are rugs because they're highly controlled by the devs or insiders, and then they just sell when they want to. I don't know what the hell happened with the Seeker one, but that's not what Clash is. Clash was fairly launched. We have a very vibrant community. We have things in development. We have tournaments also that's drawing new people in, and me continuing to push forward, right? So it's a different project. It's an actual project. It's a community project. It's not just a meme with nothing going on. So I'm just telling you guys, don't fade it. Is Trump still talking? Or is he done? I think he's done. Yeah, it's not loading anymore. I mean, the biggest thing is no military force and immediate negotiations on Greenland. Even though I thought they already did. I thought they already started that. And Denmark is like, no thanks. You know, it's fun to think about. Like, I watch these like theoretical videos about how, you know, how if the U.S. just decided to take over North America, like take over Greenland, and then take over Canada and Mexico next, I mean, it would happen within weeks. Like, it would be very fast. And then we control all of North America. It's fun to think about what that would be like. And how would the world react if the U.S. did that? You know? I don't think NATO's really go protect Canada or Greenland or Mexico. Prior to YouTube and crypto, what did you do for a living? I was in IT. I started out, I went to college for networking. Then, you know, that was right after the dot-com bubble. Couldn't get a job, so I started like help desk, did help desk for many years. Then became a system admin. Then became a system architect. And that was the last position. Seemed like it's so long ago. Why are you showing Seeker like that? It's 165 million right now. Is this the wrong one? I was sent this one. So unless this is a fake copycat. Let's search. Is there another one? Is it this one? Okay. I was given, sorry. I was showing the wrong chart because that looked very off. That it would drop 85%. So that was a fake one. I apologize for showing the wrong one. But yeah, the real Seeker one is sitting at 120. No, 68 million. 68.5 million. Not all of it has been released. So FDV is 120, but overall market cap 68.5. That's not even that much better than Clash, man. Clash is sitting at 42 million. If Trump pays Denmark's 142 billion of debt for Greenland, who says no? I don't know. I think these days there's a huge premium on land. If I was Denmark, I'd be asking for way more than 142 billion. 142 billion is like chump change, almost. I would probably asking like $1 trillion. And the US would probably do it. What's a trillion here or there? The 3 red candles was caused by George flooding. No, I don't think anyone sold because of my mistake. But, you know, here's the thing. Everyone's being airdropped this, so what do you think is going to happen? Normally with airdrops, everyone sells, right? No one really keeps those airdrops. Unless you just like forget about it. You're like, I forgot about it. And then you check later. You're like, oh my God, good thing I didn't sell. This is why with Clash, I don't do any airdrops. The prizes we give out are all in Sol. We never really give out Clash. Maybe like very early on I did, and I realized it's bad. You know, people get those free airdrops. What do? They just sell it. So everything we give out is in Sol. We don't give out Clash. US will just turn on money printing machine. Yeah, like that's why. If I was Greenland, I'd be thinking, okay, Trump's not gonna give up. We might as well do it. So if we're gonna do it, we're gonna ask it for an astronomical amount. You know, probably the rare earth minerals that's in Greenland is worth way more. So I'll be negotiating for something at least a trillion plus. And the US will do it. Trump will gladly pay for that. You know, we add another trillion to our deficit. So what? We go from 38 to 39 trillion, and now we own Greenland. Trump would do that. I don't know. He still needs congressional approval, though, right? You can't just like mint $1 trillion without Congress approving. Okay, we're seeing a good. Okay, I'm gonna say we're seeing a good recovery, not great recovery, good recovery. But of course, we were just at 95 just 2 days ago, so we need to recapture that. The total supply Clash has already been released. There's 1 billion in circulation, so there will be no more. No more coming out. Set supply. And with Clash Picks, we're going to basically be enabling burning, but it's different. We're going to take a portion of the pools, collect it as fees, and put it into the treasury. And most likely we're going to use that to be putting into our liquidity pool. But we will come out with Sol-based and USDT, USDC pools. And those will take a fee and convert it to Clash and put it in our treasury. So everything is going to be good for the token. Either it's going to be taking them out of supply, or we're going to cause buying pressure from those fees. Coco Bo says, thanks, George. I got 0.2 Sol again through spectators. Yeah, we give out Sol, you know, just for spectating. So again, those of you guys that are not familiar with the tournaments, we have tournaments. We have 3 kinds of tournaments. And if you want to participate, you can. Anyone can join any tournament, okay, really for free. And you don't need to hold anything. You want to just play, that's fine. But if you want to win the prizes that we're giving out, we have, you know, the top 10 finisher prizes, and we have spectator prizes. You need to hold some Clash. We lowered the requirement. You have to hold 2,000 Clash because Clash has been going up. So we actually lowered it from 2,500 to 2,000. But if you want to win or play, spectate, you know, start in your account, create an account on the website. All the instructions, everything's in there. And if you're still confused, you could join our Discord and ask questions. And anything you win, all that is tracked in your account. It's very, very simple. Very simple. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it today. Biggest things that came out of Davos, really, Trump saying he's not going to use military force, and he's not giving up on Greenland either. So he wants to buy Greenland no matter what. But at least military force is ruled out unless he changes his mind later on. But he said no military force, don't need to, won't do it. So that's good. That's what caused the market to come back up today. So stay in there, my friends. I know sometimes it gets distracting, it gets dark, but let's not forget, from the beginning of this year till about 3 days ago, we had pretty good momentum to the upside. Shows that when the bears are gone and bulls are back, things can move in a big way. Big way. Okay, so stay in there, be strong, and I'll see a lot of you guys tonight when I host the pro tournament. It's on my other channel. Check it out. Okay, 6 p.m. Central Time. All right, have a good one. Take care.